It'll be you. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be you who does that.
Oh, guarantee it.
9 o'clock.
I'm gonna put the back.
They should be looking at the
old thumbnail.
yeah.
And now somebody in chat will say, "No, it's not working." Yeah, no.
Don't abuse our viewers, John. Don't abuse our viewers.
Building anticipation, James. That's how it works.
We love them all. Who does
This
that?
is the foreplay. Guarantee.
Lovely folk. Every single one of them.
It is an awesome group, though, isn't it? An awesome group.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Lovely people. Lovely people. I've got a special thing. That's got a special screen. Are you watching the feed?
No.
Good.
Should we be?
No.
My internet could take it.
I was suspicious.
Ooh, it's going to be good, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, it takes that.
Shall I roll the intro?
Yeah.
Alright, see you in a sec. 5, 4, 3. You don't get this on VT UK.
Not working. That's a terrible night. Off without you, though, Rich. Off without you.
Oh, right. That's that then. We're live.
Hey!
Welcome to the Ideal Home Show, episode 184. My name's Richard. With me, I have James, who's down there, and John, who's that way. What a cracking show we've got for you tonight. Just reading through the notes. It's just carnage, non-stop, interesting stuff, all night, and some other stuff. But on the whole, pretty solid. So do stay tuned. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button. We'll see you next week. No, all good. It's gonna be great. Let's crack on.
Ooh.
We've got Travava this week on Instagram, World Vape News, all that good stuff. So do stay tuned. James, what you vaping? What you drinking? And what would you do with the Irish backstop? No.
That was
No.
Yes, no, please, no.
Not that. When you're not drinking beer, what is your favourite spirit? And which and your not touching ever spirit?
Okay,
that's a good question.
Yeah, good question. They're deep delving questions because there's often stories behind them questions. Okay, thank you very much, Rich. Good evening, everybody. Let's go vaping. I am vaping on my Lucas. I've got this back out. I did kind of put it in the cupboard for a little while. I don't know what you go through phases. I vaped it like every day for 2 years or something like that. But I'm totally back on the Lucas. I love it. It's DNA 40. I still like the DNA 40 more. I really still like the DNA 40 more. It's got a whistle. It's got a Vita V2 on top, and on top of there is Hellfire whistle. And in there is Tobacco Crunch. Now, I haven't been vaping Tobacco Crunch for 3 whole weeks. It's me all day, every day vape. And I haven't vaped it for 3 whole weeks. And you know what? I missed it. I did miss it. I kind of get away with 70 VG juices, 80 and 70 VG juices. The two. I don't like them. They're too cloudy. They're not for me. They're not for me. And not just that. They're messy. They are really. I don't know whether you've noticed this before. Brass certainly noticed it this last 3 weeks. You get a lot. Again, I'll grab one, and it doesn't matter what kind of bottle it is, whether it's a unicorn or one of these short filly type jobbies. Don't matter what kind it is. I always get when I'm filling up a squonky bottle, the nib is still filled with juice when you take the bottle away, and then rather than going back into the bottle, I always seem to get it around the rim, and then next time you pick it up, that all drips everywhere.
Do you know why? You do know why, because you've dealt with you mix liquids. But VG does that really weird thing where it goes snap and it loses its viscosity, and it just goes.
Yeah. That's because that temperature range is tiny, isn't it? Between it being
Unbelievable.
like jam and like water. It's crazy. It's only a few degrees, but it's not that. You can see it because obviously these are reasonably dark liquids. You can see it in the nib, and I've took the bottle away, and I can see it in the nib, and I'm going right now. Go back in the. No, and but it doesn't go back in the bottle. It goes and now you can wipe it off and shizzle, but it's a pain in the arse. It's a pain in the arse. Anyway, I'm back on 50-50. I've got all 50-50 because I'm all on concentrates this evening. So I have got Tobacco Crunch in the Lucas. I missed it. I've only just mixed it up today. It's still awesome, even though it's just today.
What was in there? Tobacco Crunch, did you say?
Tobacco Crunch, aye.
Yeah, it's back on the tobacco.
It's back on. I tried to just, I wanted to just vape the stuff that I've been collecting, and I just have little tastes of here and there, and some of them are delicious, and I really, really like them. But I keep going back to that. I am such a stickler for. I'm shit. I'm absolutely shit at vaping other juices. You get stuck on something, and then I'll vape it all day every day. Anyway, another one that I can vape all day every day is from Concentrate from Just Add Nick. Look at him. Look at it. As soon as I said that, he just perked up. That he's on his phone. He's like, "Oh, just text me."
I'm trying to make sure it doesn't make any noises.
I'm on Dandelion and Burdock from Jeffries from Concentrate again. 50-50. It's got to be 50-50. That's in the Art and Mod Evo with Origin small thing on top and a whistle from modmaker.co.uk. And I really like this one because I like how the plastics match.
Matchy.
Yeah.
Matchy. Well, this one done matchy. Two different whites. See that? Yeah, upsets us that. I'm easily upset. Liquid everywhere, not matchy things. So that's vape number 2. And then last but by no means least, I've just cleaned this. I've just rewicked it, and I have just put in. That makes no sense. Showing you the bottle because it just says SGT on there. This is Sergeant Vape. This is one I got from the Tea Juice fellas and Gary Dibley.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the exact description. Gary will tell you better than me. It's a vanilla biscuity thing, with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and rhubarb. And it is the rhubarb for me in this setup currently, which is the Hellfire setup. It's all Hellfire. The rhubarb is coming through really, really, really nicely. It's rhubarb sweeties to me. It's not rhubarb crumble or fresh rhubarb. It's a rhubarb sweet kind of taste. It's kind of a little bit fizzy. It's a little bit vanilla-y. It's really, really, really good, and I'm dead pleased I got that because I think I can vape that quite a lot. I don't think it's going to be sickly. It's not just like a rhubarb and custard sweet. When I read the description, that wasn't what I thought. I thought, oh, this is going to be like a grown-up dessert sort of thing, and in my taste buds, it is much more of that rhubarb and custardy type sweet. It's a vanilla, sweety rhubarb. It's really, really nice. It's a little bit fizzy. It's got like a fizz. I don't know what it is, but it's really, really good. That's what I'm vaping on. I am drinking on I've got some cheap lager in there. I've just cracked up this bottle of wine-sized Starry Pramen. It's massive. It's
nice.
Sorry. Apologise for my language there.
Why is that quite cheap in the shop but really expensive in the pub? Well, relatively.
You pay by the letter in a pub.
It's fucking mental.
It's what I've got. I think it's probably one of my favourite lagers. Starry Pramen. I like a Czech lager. Reminds us of when I was there drinking heavily for a stag do, and I thought I was dying in the airport coming home. Really did. So that's what I'm drinking. Drink-wise, the question was, I like a single malt. I really like a single malt. That's probably me favouriteest. What have I got a bottle for Christmas. I can't think of the name of it. It's gone, and it's really tasty. It's the one that him off that show drinks. Fucking hell, my brain. That's what I really like. I really like a single malt. What I don't like is I kind of drink.
I want to start naming stuff now. Talisker?
No. Paul Jones, are you watching? What was that drink that I had before? It doesn't
What's
matter.
the TV show? Mad Men?
No, it's off. What was the thing that I was addicted to, John? The show with
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Recs. What the dude off Parks and Recs drinks? I kind of think what his name is.
You keep on to. We'll hear your disgusting one.
Okay. My disgusting one is Southern Comfort. I can't drink Southern Comfort anymore. I had a New Year's Eve on Southern Comfort, and I totally spoiled Southern Comfort forever. It's one of them things, isn't it? I'm sure we've all probably done that at some point. When it goes down, it's nice, but when it comes up,
Lagavulin.
That's it, Lagavulin. Yeah. That's the one. Thanks very much, John. I've got a bottle of that. It's delicious. It's really peaty and kind of medicinal taste, and it's nice. Very, very nice. So my question's done. Jesus, I made a right meal of that, didn't I?
It was lovely. I enjoyed it.
Right meal of that.
I loved it.
First lager. I'm well behind. Been punted about. It's Mark White's fault. I've been rejigging his whole his organisation system. I took it all to bits and then was trying extra bits to try and tidy.
It's just Lego for grown-ups, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've been. That's why I was late coming on. And I was like, and then anyway, okay, John, let's go over to you. What you drinking? What you vaping? Which I feel lunch. Because we're always interested in that. And if you could talk to the animals, if you could do a Doolittle, talk to the animals. I've got two versions of this question in my mind. One, which if you could talk to all the animals in a Doolittle type way, which animal do you think would be the most annoying? And two, alternatively, if you could only choose to speak to one type of animal, which type of animal would you speak to? So that's a two-part, a bit like mine was a two-part.
Okay. Yeah. I'm up for that. I mean, I'm stuck, so I've got to think of a two-parter as well. Drinking on. I just finished. This is my first ever Stone beer, a Stone Ripper, San Diego style IPA. It was really nice, actually. I just saw them and I thought I'll get one as a starter. Though it's 5.7%. I know I've mocked American beer in the past, but it was good. Well, to be fair, yeah, okay, no, yeah. No, I was just checking it was made in America land. I think it was. It was really, really nice. I really enjoyed that. And then on to the Britpop. See what I did there? I'm now drinking Punk IPAs. It's just nice, isn't it? Especially in this weather, it's fucking hot. For lunch, really seriously, I had a chicken sandwich. Roast chicken from the other day, sliced up. But I'm very particular about roast chicken sandwiches. I don't want anything else in there.
Butter?
Yeah, that's it.
Stuffing?
I do that, but I don't want wet stuff. I don't want salad. I don't want fucking mayonnaise.
No meal.
A dry chicken sandwich.
Oh.
Don't know why. It's just nice, isn't it?
What colour bread?
Just white bread. I know. What is it? Somebody said to me. This is my humour. I was at work last year, and one of my colleagues was telling another one of my colleagues, "Oh, I don't eat white bread," and the other colleague went, "No, I know." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "It's the worst thing ever." And I went, "Holocaust was pretty bad." White bread is not the worst thing ever. It's just not. It's just not true. You don't eat 15 slices a day, but apart from that, you'll probably be okay. 2 tangerines for pudding, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had cheddar cheese popcorn. It's like a side thing going on by Joe and Steph. Which, if you've never had Joe and Steph popcorn, then ignore me. But Joe and Steph popcorn is fucking immense. They do like loads of different flavors, and I bought some cheddar popcorn, which is very nice. So I had that. And I was watching Confession Tapes on Netflix. Have you seen that?
No. What is it?
It's quite good. It's
what, proper like murderers and that?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
brutal.
it's kind of did they It's the way that there's the laws are obviously very different in the States than they are in the UK.
Yeah, you have to plead guilty even if you're not.
Yeah. But it's the way you can interrogate people is unbelievable. Like a 10-hour interrogation with like a half an hour gap, and then they do another 10. It's like fuck. So what you actually get out of the interrogation at the end is basically a few times it seems to be kind of, yeah, okay, I did it, whatever. As long as I get the fuck out of here, I don't really care. And yeah, that happens quite a lot. So I'm like third episode, so it's quite good. Oh, vaping. That's what we're doing, isn't it? Vaping show. I have got I already looked. I'll do it again. The Gate RTA on top of the Pico, 21700, and in that I have got what have I got? I've got cannoli bean nuts from me, well, and from Casadega, especially. I've tried it before. I tested it when it came before we got it, but this is the first time I've actually had time to mix them up for myself. So I thought I'd give that. Cannoli bean nuts seems to be the most popular one at the moment, so I thought I'll go with that. It's really nice, and it's got a PC coil in there, so it's 0.62. Whoa! I think that's high enough actually. We could do with going up. I've only got it at 20 watts or something. So I'll put it a bit less interesting here. Try that. Yeah, that worked. That's really nice. I reckon it'll go smashingly with the coffee. Next up, I've got a pipe. The Guardian 3 with a Dwar 16 on top with a very long drip tip. And in that, I've got 45 milligram lemon crack. Which is absolutely delightful. I do see lots of people having pipes at the moment. So Jim Shorrock has designed a pipe and made it, and it's ridiculously nice, and I'm very jealous of that. Last but by no means least, I think I'm going to have to say what this is now. I've got an abstract mod. Wow, that's who made the mystery mod. Is an abstract with a DNA 40 in it. Mike asked me what wattage I normally use. I said normally about 21, 22. Yeah. So he thought that a DNA 40 would do me nicely, and it does. On top of that is an EVL Reaper V3, and in that I've got frozen apple tobacco from Shaky Vapes.
It's one of your favourites, that, isn't it?
It's now, yeah, it's really, really good. It's really clean for tobacco, which I was really expecting. I know it's got one of the biggest fans in chat. Tony Parkinson's in chat. I think he's kind of got a bastard.
Parky.
Question. What would be the most annoying animal? I think it's really easy what would be the most annoying. It'd be a dog. The most annoying animal would be a dog. I've got one, but it would be an incessant, the same question over and over again. We do? We do? Can I go out? Can I go out? Can I go out? Come out. We do? We do? We do? We do? We do? We do? Can I go out? Can I go out? Can I go out? What's that? What's that? What the fuck is that? It would just be constant.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but you're saying that, but does your dog bark all the time?
No.
So the barking is the talking, John. So if it's not barking all the time, then it's not always saying that all of the time.
But isn't it not? But is it? Because is it? But we don't. Maybe that's the kind of oi, 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 oi. And when it's going like that, it might be going muttering under its little lips, going, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah. If it could talk as well, if it knew it could talk.
It could talk a lot, I reckon.
I
can't think of... Okay, all right, probably actually.
If it knew it could talk, every time it gets up and sort of looks at the food bowl or whatever, it wouldn't do that, would it? It'd tell you.
Surely your dog knows it can talk, because it can bark, and then some of the time you go, you want this or you want that. It's communicating in some sort of way,
and then you're bark for food though, do they?
No, because you just don't. Yeah, maybe they're not hungry. I don't know.
Okay, I've changed my mind then. If it's going to be, it's making a constant, so it has to be something that's constantly talking, doesn't it? Or making a noise. Yes?
Doesn't have to be. No. I mean, you could see
For most irritating, then you would be going for that, wouldn't you? So I'm going to say a guinea pig because they incessantly squeak. So
I reckon a horse would be boring.
Horse, yeah, really boring. Just nothing.
What about birds and what seagulls, for instance?
Not as annoying as a guinea pig. I mean, they're on another level. I don't even know why the fuck anyone owns a guinea pig.
Have you got a guinea pig?
No.
It wouldn't be annoying to you. Oh, it's just in general. I say. It's just if it's just in general, yeah.
Yeah. I just meant if it had to be, what would be the most irritating thing if you could hear all the animals? Like a guinea pig, because they never shut the fuck up. This constant squeak, like walk squeaks, like it's just absolutely stupid.
Fair enough. Then if you could only speak to one type of animal, what would you speak to? What would you like? What do you think would be the most insightful of animals or whatever? What is the most handy? Dog? I mean, see how you've got it.
It's not handy, is it? It's kind of what you might get out of it. I suppose
A raven.
you'd have to also give it conscious thought because most animals, all animals, I can't think of an animal that's got conscious thought. So it'd be fairly inane. It would be that thing of if a lion could speak, you wouldn't be able to understand it because they don't have conscious thought. It's not thinking about what's coming up or what was yesterday or what's tomorrow, So are we giving the animal conscious thought and a voice?
We're gonna just totally fucking screw. No, John, it's just a daft question. It's just a daft question.
Okay.
A raven would be handy though, wouldn't it?
But then
Because you could say, pop over the ring road and see if it's busy. Or you could say, pop to number 8 and tell them the bin's on fire.
Just for a laugh. It's not, but fuck it.
Just send it on little errands.
It's not a bad idea, though. I will say that. Now you've said a flying thing. Because I was thinking, I reckon a gorilla or a chimp would be really... I reckon they're really snarky. I just
Chimps?
think definitely. They're fucking mean. Once they get to, puberty, they're a fucking nightmare. No one tells you that. Get a chimp, it might fucking murder you. Sexual maturity, not puberty, sorry. It's a fucking monkey. I'm going to go with a sparrowhawk. That'd be quite interesting. And that's big enough to pick up shit. Like if you said, fly down and get me a hot dog. It just swoop down, grab someone's hot dog, and then come back with it.
A sparrow can't carry a hot dog.
Sparrowhawk, not a sparrow.
Oh, fine.
A hot dog. That's not a hot dog. That's a grain of rice. It's a schwa of rice.
Schwa of rice. Oh, poor Ian. Poor schwa.
Richard! What are you vaping them? What'd you have for lunch? What are you drinking? If you go to any music, I know this is not your type of thing, but it's still fine. If you could go to any musical event or concert, what would it be? And they can be past or present, so it doesn't make any difference. And what would be your worst nightmare in terms of a concert or music event?
Cool. Okay. Drinking. I'm drinking on an American beer as well. This one.
I'm sure you just do it on purpose now. I haven't had a bud out of a can since 1995.
It's a really nice drop, this.
You're a fucking dickhead.
It's a lovely drop, that's very nice. So that's Budweiser. That is king of beers. So drinking that.
Even James is on my side with fucking surely Bud.
Oh, what's up? What's up?
Vaping on the Valerian 2 kit and the Cold Steel 100 mod with the Plex tank on top, and also the Asmodus 3S. Ooh, look at that, interesting shape, comfy. And on top of that, the Engine V2, still my favourite cloudy RTA, I think, after all this time. And a range of juices in those. Music. I'm off to my first concert at the end of this year.
Is it something that you want to go to, or are you going as the company?
No, dragged along. It's it's my friends from college. They all really wanted to go.
I thought you were going to say they're in a band.
No, it's a proper band. It's Feeder.
Oh yeah, I did know they were touring. Haven't they got Razorlight backing them up or something?
I don't know. I just know I've been forced to go.
Very 90s kind of. 2000, sorry, early 2000s.
Yeah, they sort of just part of our growing up, I guess.
Okay, that can't be the answer to your. What would be the ultimate thing to go to?
The thing that the only music event I would choose to go to, if I had a choice, would be if the Ordinary Boys got back together.
Works.
I would go and see them in a heartbeat. But I would just sit in a chair, sit on a chair in the corner, and just watch.
I'm not one. I don't. Even though I've been to see bands I like, I get annoyed by everybody else singing along. I just want to be quiet. It costs £45 a ticket. Shut the fuck up. I just want to hear them do it, not you.
Yeah. That's yes. So literally any other concert, even this theatre thing, would be hell.
Is it? I think there must be there must be something you have to lean over and like stop. Is there not music you just absolutely hate?
No, because I don't like any of it.
Oh, okay.
None of it. It just washes over me. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, there's nothing crazy.
Surely, actually, but surely by proxy, then you want your worst nightmare would be. I don't even know anything about music festivals, having never been to one. But isn't Reading 3 days?
Yeah, anything like that.
That would be up. That's got to be the worst nightmare of your life.
I wouldn't leave my tent.
Yeah, that's 3 days of not only bands that you don't know of, but masses of ballets that really like the bands you've not heard of.
Yep. So anything that, not good. I don't know why. I'm just not asked.
That's fair.
So that's that. Is that everything?
Yes.
Good.
Are we tripping into the news?
Yeah. Let's slide in.
Okay. That's what she said. We've got to. I think we're going all the way to the land of the free as the beginner. I've kind of had to. This is everywhere. Everybody knows about this, but it's everywhere this year. But I've picked this week. But I picked the BBC because there's no paywall, and it's not an American site, so I'm not happy with that. Right. So we're going to go with the headline, and there's plenty to talk about after this. San Francisco becomes the first US city to ban e-cigarettes. San Francisco has become the first US city to ban e-cigarettes until their health effects are clearer. Officials on Tuesday voted to ban stores selling the vaporizers and made it illegal for online retailers to deliver to addresses in the city. The Californian city is home to Juul Labs, the most popular e-cigarette producer in the US. Juul said the move would drive smokers back to cigarettes and create a thriving black market. San Francisco's mayor, London Breed, what a fucking name, has 10 days to sign off the legislation, but has indicated she will. The law would begin to be enforced 7 months from that date, although there have been reports firms could mount a legal challenge. Anti-vapor activists say firms deliberately target young people by offering flavoured products. Not only is more scientific investigation into the health impact needed, critics say, but vaping can encourage young people to switch to cigarettes. That's where I'm going to end it, really, because it's just bullshit we've all heard before. After that,
have you heard the unofficial party line? I didn't know this. So apparently, one of the justifications for doing this is to put pressure on the FDA to actually compile a report on e-cigs.
Yeah,
And
but that was the party
investigate
line last year.
e-cigs, yeah. So what they're saying is this is a sort of thing that the FDA should be dealing with and looking at, and they've not looked at it. And the FDA has said they're not looking at it till 2021.
That's not kind of true, because they do have any scientific paper that's been published. They obviously can read that, because you and I can.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's all a bit, but that's their official. That's the new unofficial line from them. It's a good excuse in a way. It makes them look.
What you saying there, Rich? That they're taking a bullet for vapers? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're attempting to put pressure on the FDA to review e-cigarettes quicker.
That's the claim, but it's been.
But that's not what they're doing. They're just cashing in.
They're just cashing in. There's lots of pressure.
Pressure left, right, and centre, and they're just being the first to do it.
And lobbying coming from big tobacco to assist with this legislation. And
meanwhile, there's over 30,000 human turds on their streets.
That's true. And weirdly, it's legal to take magic mushrooms and smoke weed.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
Things that aren't a problem in San Francisco are very strange. Juul, it doesn't make any difference. All it's going to do is move the tax away, because they're just going to set up somewhere else. Who cares? It's
literally illegal to receive an e-cig in the post, though, in San Francisco. Yes. I mean, it's just literally, it's a full ban, really.
Same as New South Wales and Australia. It's exactly the same. You can't send anything to them.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a dark day for e-cigs, I think, for a Western civilization.
And one. I don't know.
It'll be kicked down the road before it's won.
You really got to bind it up for 2 years of that.
They've really struck on something as well with this whole teen epidemic thing.
It's a really clever trick. Yeah.
Because it's true. It's true. What's not true is that it's a problem, but it's true that an absolute shit ton of teenagers in America are vaping.
But they're not smoking.
I know, but it's just a nightmare. The biggest flaw of the entire e-cig world in the last 8 years is failing to convey the message that they're pretty harmless, really. I think as long as there's this confusion.
I don't know if I should. Somebody in chat has just said more to worry about at home. Boris has his campaign team funded by Big Tobacco. But that really doesn't make it. It's very, very, very different over here. We're protected a lot more from political gain by people like the chief medical officer, the BMC, lots of massive things. And it doesn't work because of our tax system. It doesn't work like that. You can't just change something like that. You just couldn't.
No, we have a system of logic. It's surrounded by a system of logic. Even if it got as far as House of Lords, they're still
It's a much freer country. It just is. It is. It is such an odd thing to watch what money could do.
There'd be widespread and heavily, felt opinion, if that happened. So they would have to justify it much more than San Francisco have had to justify it.
Yeah, and the political party right now, the way it stands in the UK, couldn't lose 1 million voters. That would be a very bad idea. Yeah. That's a thing. That could swing something. 1 million, that's a lot.
So yeah, it is bad though. It is bad. But yeah, and it's amazing when you look at like the problems San Francisco does have. But unfortunately, one of those problems does impact this problem, because one of the things they've got is crippling debt. Yeah. As a state, they're in insane amounts of debt, which a lot of the states are actually. But
oh really?
Yeah. So I don't think that's got to be a factor, hasn't it?
How's that going to help? Oh, I suppose. Yeah. Sorry. Obviously, being lobbied, pays quite well.
Yeah.
Viv makes a good point. Well, it's been proven. Viv says, does anybody know any teenagers who have swapped from vaping to smoking? But there was actually a scientific study done on it, and it's the number would count as an anomaly. In insignificant amount of people have swapped the other way. It doesn't even count. Even they've in Britain, the scientific paper states that it's not something you need to worry about because people don't tend to do that. There isn't a trend at all from going from vaping to smoking because it's 5 times the price. It's just people don't do it.
We've just failed to get that message across, really, that it's relatively harmless.
Gary just said, yeah.
Epidemic of teens doing something that's basically harmless. You know, team epidemic of children playing hopscotch, which is again relatively harmless.
But if you Richard's really riled about it.
It's annoying though, isn't it?
It really is. Somebody said if you ever want kids to do something, someone said this on our group the other day, if you ever want kids to do something, make it more illegal. This is totally true.
I mean, that's the other thing, that it was already illegal. What the teenagers were doing in America was already illegal. So just enforce the existing laws.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
How's the general response in San Francisco? Have we heard any?
I haven't seen anything at all, really.
No, I haven't either.
Most of the people that I know in the States don't live in San Francisco, so I haven't really seen an outpouring of people. Because
it's quite balanced, isn't it? It's got quite a balanced viewpoint in America on it because there's so much misinformation. They don't really know. I saw Philip DeFranco was an absolutely massive YouTuber. It's like a YouTube news channel, and he covered it, and he was pretty down the middle on it. He was like, yeah, obviously it's not great, loads of teens are doing it, so I can see why they want to stop that. Will they stop that? And he was, he kept it, he wasn't outraged or surprised, he was just like, yeah, well, a lot of teens are doing it. It's just really funny. So it's not generated that the reaction it would have here in the UK with all the science that we do listen to.
Well, I'm going to cover because something else you just dropped back to the Nick Smith in chat has just mentioned something which has tendrils of truth in it, but weirdly it's been posted a lot in American groups this week and on Reddit especially. The message is starting to get out. The NHS are now actively pushing vaping as a way to stop smoking. They're not. It depends where you live. It depends which health authority you're under. Depends what they're doing. There's been, quite a few people have posted the banner that says "Stop smoking today, start vaping," which has been outside a few hospitals, but it's very area dependent. Some health authorities are dead against it, and some are very, very much for it. There isn't in the UK. We don't have currently. There's not a party line on that, so that isn't true. Somebody said the other day, somebody. It was on Reddit. It was posted that they'd got cigarettes behind their shutters, and it said on the counter, I think it was Sainsbury's, vaping is now in the health and lifestyle area, so it's not behind the shutters. Don't forget, they're all big tobacco products. It's hype, it's vape and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That's just big tobacco. That's how in retail you pay for your shelf space. You don't paying to be behind shutters. They've offered Sainsbury's a lot of money to move them away from there. So don't be impressed by that. They don't your health. They're not trying to save smokers. That is a negotiation between a tobacco company and a retailer.
Yeah, and I think once she does sign that piece of paper, which she's gonna.
Yeah.
There's a 6-month window, isn't there? 7-month window. So after that 7-month window, James.
Yes.
If you lived in San Francisco in 8 months' time, how would it impact you?
Sorry, what? I was on the phone there. What was that question again?
So if you were in San Francisco in 8 months' time, when all this ban is in place, how would it affect you? Do you think?
Because he's got a shitload of nicotine in the freezer.
Yeah,
You mix your own juice, so that's not a problem. They're not going to stop you getting cake flavours in the post. They're not really going to be able to spot or stop a cheeky little European RTA winging its way to you, really, are they? Not unless you start checking every parcel.
Yeah, but it's going to be a pay your money and take your chance job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I'm not. So what about? So, but vaping on the streets is fine. Is vaping on the streets fine? Am I okay to vape on the streets?
Yeah.
It's not a Singapore ban. It's a.
You can't buy.
It's just the purchase of.
You just can't buy. I mean, I think I'm probably in the same boat as a lot of vapers of my ilk, whereas I feel as though I'm almost done. So with regards to hardware, it'll be an inconvenience. Yeah, it'll definitely be an inconvenience. Juice wise, yeah, I make my own. I'm kind of I'm all right there, and obviously I've got a buffer where I'm going to end up with a cupboard full of stuff. That I think I'm going to be more upset with the fact that they've taken the principle away from us than anything else. I don't think it'll affect the actual vape. Yeah. I would never start. Who could go back to smoking? I could never go back to smoking. I would never even dream of going back to smoking. So that's not an issue, and I think that's probably not an issue for most vapers.
I suppose in this short term, a lot of San Francisco vapers will have things delivered to a mate just outside state, won't they?
Yeah.
Pop over once a week and grab it.
It's but as James said, we've said this from the start. Fuck. How many years have we done when we get to November this year? Is it 4?
Something like that.
Fuck. We said from the beginning, when we've argued the toss about stuff like this, not argued between us, argued the toss with moronic media shit, is that the point for fighting isn't for yourself. You've really got to do it for people who are still smoking. And so I'm with James, where you kind of think your disappointment would be, fucking hell, they're going to fucking kill people.
Presumably, Juul Labs are going to have to move now.
But I don't expect they give a fuck. I mean, the cost of moving compared to what? Not going to quit, are they? Just move.
Yeah, no, I because they're technically producing it in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I don't know. The production's not strictly.
It depends what they class as the point of sale, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the point of sale would be perhaps their server, which is kind of how the law works. So they probably couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the principle as well. They won't want to be in a vape ban state. They don't. Well, just won't want that.
I wonder how much they're going to lose in tax, because we know how much Juul make a year. It's incredible.
It depends where they're registered.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's such a complicated. It sounds quite simple, but it's really, really not. Dave writes, "It's 3 years this November." I don't think it is. I think it's 4.
Can't be, can it? Because there's over 150 shows.
Yeah, true, Dave. You're wrong. It's 4. We've been doing this shit for 4 years.
Well, in November.
In November.
Not me. It seems like a long time, wasn't it? Such a long.
It's already a long show, this, isn't it?
I think that's what we've got on San Francisco. I think the best thing to do is move on, and we'll see as it develops, see what happens.
Yeah, it sucks ass, but what are you going to do?
It definitely sucks ass. And it's...
it makes America look like stupid cunts.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole... I think that the salient point is they are going to kill people. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's really it's sad for new people. It's really, really sad because we have done. Well, I say it's not me at all by any means, but vaping I think has done a lot in the last 5 years for saving hundreds of millions of NHS money and lives and blah 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 blah. And these people are not going to get that opportunity. You know, that's probably. Like what I said,
I've said on this before as well, but I'll say it again. One of the most disappointing things I find now, being the age I am, I started smoking when I was 12, which is ludicrous. I agree, but when I see like a 17-year-old, 18-year-old with a fag on, I just think, oh, it's so fucking stupid. That as a habit to get rid of. It's so difficult.
Do you think I've still got this thing in my head that in 11 years' time, will laugh about this time. Like, do you remember
I
when
did
they
think
tried to
that.
ban
If you asked us
e-cigarettes?
that question 2 years ago, I probably would have said, yeah. But no,
Don't you ultimately think common sense and science will win out?
oh, definitely. There won't be smoking.
In
No.
this country.
No, around the world, like the whole world will laugh about 2019 when they tried to ban e-cigs
Nope.
in 2030.
Honestly, once you go like from here, once you go east, India and China, Cambodia and Vietnam, that's not the issue. Is so complicated that it basically pays them to keep smoking. They're not. That's not going to change.
If we cannot stop people literally killing each other, then I think vaping is weird down the list. As long as there's, it's.
I think you're right in England. I think there will be a time when we have to explain to our to generations that there used to be tobacco in a tube, and then you get a lighter and lighter. But I think in the same way as you'll have to explain that you used to put petrol in your car and you used to drive it yourself. I think that'll be a really weird explanation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to drive this can around at fucking 120 mile an hour for a laugh. I'll go, what? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sorry, James. The 2 mil.
Oh yes. Okay. Oh yes. Well, we've got some picks. We've got some. Right. Okay. So this week I heard through the grapevine that because you can't get the Typhoon. We've mentioned the Typhoon GTR a couple of times on the show in the last couple of weeks, months, or whatever it is. Super groovy looking mouth-along RDA, but it's not available in this country. It's only available in a non-TPD compliant 4 mil version. However, I have heard through the grapevine somewhere, I can't remember where these sources are, that there is going to be a 2 mil version released in this country, and it's going to be available at Creme de Vape in the near future. I couldn't find any photos. There was no photos to be had as of yet. So we've got a artist's impression of this, artist rendition of this. We've got some mock-ups of what the 2 mil might look like. Hopefully they're on screen right now.
Yep, this is the first one on screen, which
Okay,
is basically shorter.
So this is possibly how it would look. This is how I think this is how I'd like it to see it look. This is the.
It would require a different chimney piece, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would there would be a little bit of rejigging, but then again, I believe it's going to be sold as a whole 2 mil set, so that wouldn't be a lot of work for those Typhoon dudes. Next one.
Next one is thinner and taller.
Okay, so this is an alter. They could go down this route. It's a 23 mil. Actually, maybe they think, it's English. They like some sin. They like. Sorry, that's probably racist. It could go down.
That's all right.
They could go down the.
Where are they from?
They're from Austin. No, I'll stop that. I'll stop that right now. So they could go down the thin option. It seems unlikely. I think it's probably going to stick at 23 mil. I think the first ones.
Are Typhoon not German? I thought they were German.
They are German. That was my German accent, John.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were about to say Austria. I was like, what?
Yeah. And then we've got a third option.
This is the saver option.
Now this seems unlikely. This seems highly unlikely. Maybe they'll go for a curvy lady look. Maybe nip it in at the waist. And here's the thing.
They could do that and then just make the glass available.
That was exactly what I thought. I thought, although I'm kind of taking the piss a little bit with this one here. Using a really thick material, or just expanding the material so it's really, really thick, and then having the actual the regular tank sections available to buy, so you could still then swap it over to a 4 mil. Is a real possibility. I don't know. So I've not got any pictures. When we get some pictures of the 2 mil version, like I said, it's going to be available in this country in Creme de Vape. When we get some pictures, we'll show that off. I'd really like to see that tiny Pico version. So it's already a tiny little tank, and I think that you can see in the pretendy version I've knocked up there. I've shortened the drift tip a little bit. I think it's a really cool look. And if that was a little 2 milli tank, that would be very appealing to a lot of people.
You improve the drip tip.
Yeah, just shorten it just a little bit. Just you got to get the perspective right. I've got the perspective right. But again, I think if they did opt, I don't think it's going to be the middle one. I think it's going to be a really thin version. That would be an entirely different version. But I think if they were to thicken the tank or whatever to make it all the way down to 2 mil, that seems like a lot. It's probably going to be a lot of thickening.
The dream scenario is the shorter.
It is, I think so.
I think it'll be the short one.
Or the ultimate dream would be 22 mil and shorter. That would be the ultimate dream. But that's not going to happen.
I'm not so sure that's such a big issue. No, 22
Yeah,
mil.
that's a massive issue. They'd have to make a whole new tank.
Yeah, no. What I mean for people in general.
Nah, because lots of mods now are so much wider.
Yeah, they'll take a 23 easily. I think it was more the fact that we were using 22 millimeter mechs, and you had that extra little bit of overhang.
And side by sides that didn't fit. It was a pain.
I've still got mods that need it to be 22.
I moaned back in the day. 23 stupid. But then what was His was 21, wasn't it?
Yeah, the matte one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21. I'm trying to think. Sorcerer's Apprentice and all sorts of shit. 21. It's very weird.
Oh yeah, Mark Bugs.
Mark Bugs. Yeah. It was like owning a fucking Betamax. Well, fair enough, but no one's got one of these.
Yeah, but wasn't that was that whole setup in that brushed bead blasted.
It was gorgeous. I had his tank, and I will say, I had one of his tanks, and it was shit. I mean, it was bad. It leaked like a fuck. I had one of the prototypes a couple of years ago. Awful fucking thing.
So we'll keep you up to date with that one then.
Yes, we will.
I think it's James. It's James. North.
No. Go on. There should be. There's a whole John missing there. Why is there a John missing from our notes there?
There's always this. There's no John. There's always this because I go on.
I'll do this week on Instagram if you want.
Go for it.
Yeah, go on.
Okie dokie. This week on Instagram, just one thing, but I did a deep dive this week on the old Insta. So I found it. I came across this, and it's very much under everyone's radar. This is the Fanda, P-H-E, Vanda. Vanda vape.
Vanda.
Yeah, mouth to lung, RDA. So this came up on Instagram, and didn't know anything about it, never heard of them, etc., etc. Brand new company, and it actually looks like it's got legs. So I actually found their website and found out a bit more about this. The Faranda mouth to lung A2 RDA, 22mm wide, and it has a lot of airflow adjustment options on the barrel, but also, as you can see, it has the airflow inserts as well.
Do we know anything about it? Is this all we know? The picture?
I believe it's up in the affordable bracket. I believe it's in the Chinese bracket. And I believe it is out now, but just not widely known about or stocked or anything like that.
That is quite the selection of airflow, isn't it?
Yeah. If you can't find what you like with that. So presumably it somehow goes down and then up to use the insert.
Yeah, it's sideways.
And it's got this classic, everyone's using, 2-post, opposite facing lead scenario that everyone's doing now. And that's not too shabby really. It almost spoils the look having so many holes on the barrel, but
it does. But I think they were going for balance on the holes. But yeah.
But I think that is maybe one to keep an eye on. Maybe I don't know anywhere that has it in the UK. I've only seen one review on YouTube, and that wasn't a very good one. So yeah. I thought it was an interesting looking RDA. I think there's always room in that mouth to lung world, isn't there? There's not a lot of true mouth to lung RDAs even now.
No,
especially not in 20. I think less so in 22mm. For me, it's always the smaller ones that are proper mouth to lung. I could be wrong. No. There's not. Yeah. I think there's definitely a gap in the market. Yeah, absolutely. For a good one.
Yeah. Caught my eye. Not bad at all. I'll see what's cracking off with that and where they've come from. Come out of nowhere. So I'll keep seeking that out. I'll have a look.
Nice one, Rich.
Do you want to go? Do you want me to go?
What's next?
Shall I go?
Yeah, you ready, aren't you?
Yeah, ready. Going to go with another BBC News cracker. It's just quite funny, really. They just did a copy and paste piece of news. It's quite odd. They went from the health section of the BBC yesterday. Yeah, they went with e-cigarettes. How safe are they? It's just quite interesting, really.
It was off the back of the San Francisco thing, wasn't it?
It was off the back of San Francisco. They literally just rehashed their own thing and changed nothing. It's quite odd. Here we go. I'll go with how they work. How do they work? They work by heating up a liquid that usually contains nicotine, propylene glycol, and/or vegetable glycerin and flavourings. Users inhale the vapour produced, which contains nicotine, the addictive element in cigarettes. But nicotine is relatively harmless compared with the many poisonous chemicals contained in tobacco smoke, such as tar and carbon monoxide. Nicotine does not cause cancer, unlike tobacco in normal cigarettes, they mean smoke, which kills thousands of smokers every year. That's why nicotine replacement therapy has been used for many years by the NHS to help people stop smoking in the form of gum, skin patches, and sprays. Let me just go. They reference a lab report that we've been through already on the show some months ago. In a small early study in the lab, UK scientists found that vape could lead to changes in the lungs' immune cells if they're not in your body. I mean, you're already dead, and don't worry about it. It is still too early to work out the potential health effects of vaping, but experts agree they will be significantly lower than cigarettes. They again reference the 95% figure.
It's a fairly balanced article.
It wasn't bad. It was fine. It would have been the algorithm on the BBC website is quite an odd thing. It's trying to work out if bots are pushing things up as well, because they easily can, because they have most popular and top stories, but they're both affected by people using the link.
I think the issue is with all these articles like this, and we're looking at 6 years of articles like this, I don't know if that is what people take away every time. We don't yet know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think that's the issue.
Because people are wanting a fire night, and all these articles stop at saying definitely better than smoking.
Yeah, it would be a lot handier. But they've got here, the UK is taking a very different approach to the US on e-cigarettes, but its position is very similar to that of Canada and New Zealand. I think you'll find that's the other way around. The UK government views e-cigarettes as an important tool to help smokers give up their habit. The UK government, views. It's quite odd, because that is that dubious. And the NHS...
It is, on the whole.
Not positive. Indifferent isn't the same thing.
I don't know, you're looking at College of Midwives releasing a
That's not the
paper.
government.
Yeah, but but they do. I don't know. They lean on these things every time it comes up in Parliament.
They do, but you've got to be. I think the civil service and the government are very different things, and they're not. What's not being said by the government is that they're indifferent. They're not positive. I mean, that's good, relatively speaking, compared to fuckfaces like the Trump administration, but it's fine. I mean, there's another bit here. Oddly, they put in their own opinion. It's quite weird. The UK government views e-cigarettes as an important tool to help smokers give up their habit, and the NHS may even consider prescribing them for free to those who want to quit. That's not available anywhere in the UK. So there is no chance of sales of e-cigarettes being banned, as in San Francisco. They put that in. That's an opinion. That doesn't mean anything. A recent report from Public Health England found that quitting smoking was the main reason people to use e-cigarettes. It also said there was no evidence they are acting as a gateway into smoking for young people. Professor Linda Bald, Cancer Research UK's expert in cancer prevention, says the overall evidence points to e-cigarettes actually helping people to give up smoking. Tobacco There are signs that rules on e-cigarettes in the UK could be relaxed further. They haven't been relaxed ever, so there's not further. I think it's a very shitty piece of journalism. But it's fine. It is in the main positive, but most of it's nonsense. You can't get e-cigarettes on prescription, number one. They can't be relaxed further because they haven't been relaxed at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't see that as a terrible. It's weak journalism.
Yeah, it's just piss weak journalism. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It seemed all right to me. It was kind of Northern Net or something. It wasn't condemning e-cigarettes. Was it good? Was it no? But
nothing. It was nothing.
But it was Northern Net or something. But it wasn't bad. We should be taking
it's well timed because people will be wondering.
I can't disagree with that, but I think it's people like Mr. Dibley in his past vocation and his colleagues did a massive amount of work to prevent more legislation, and there's never been less. The relaxed rule that I would be overjoyed to see would be a relaxing of
They could relax it.
They could. It'd be great. The one I want to see. I know the bottles thing's really important to a lot of people, especially from a plastics point of view. But one of the biggest things they could do would be to relax, to an extent, the nicotine level, because it's 20 milligram is damaging for new vapors. That some people who are currently smoking, it isn't enough.
I totally agree with you. It's and not just for that reason. I don't understand. Like the San Francisco thing, I don't understand the reason behind it. I don't understand. Nobody's ever said it's definitely this, and it can't be the fact that it's a poison because everything is childproof and blah blah blah. There's measures for that. We sell vast quantities in a supermarket. You can go to things that are far more.
You can buy a litre of bleach with a cap on it, can't you? You can't drink it.
And it's got the cap on, so I don't. So it's, that to me, I don't understand why we have got them smaller bottles. Why we've got to have 18 milligram. Why we've got to have 10 mils. I don't understand.
But do you find it as upsetting as I do?
I'm happy to go along with it if you give us a good reason behind it. If you give us do
you get, as somebody who makes liquid as well, when I see fucking arseholes, selling pre-mix, which you can't, above 10 mil, which you can't, and it's got no safety cap because that's the cheapest bottle that they do. It's PET. It's got a little fucking nozzle on the top, and there's nothing to prevent you doing. And I think you're the problem because the people are going to pick up on that and say,
I want to see the 2 mil tank capacity dropped.
Yeah, I agree.
You can have a 10 mil bottle, but only a 2 mil tank. It's easier to get in the bottle than it is the tank.
Yeah.
You have to kind of know how to get into the tank. The bottle. It's that there's no. I would like to see them remove the nonsensical bit, and for me, the 2 mil tank
I
capacity
agree with that.
is
It's totally illogical. I'd love to. I'd love to see the cap lifted on it because if the cap was in as it is now, I wouldn't have quit. I wouldn't be a vapor. I wouldn't be, because when I started vaping on 24, and it worked. And I feel that anything less wouldn't have done it.
Yep.
I think it's shit. James, do you want to go back up and go for the North Pole?
Yeah, let's talk about this. This is some brand spanking new. It's not gear, but it's a multi-tool. It's called the North Pole multi-tool. It's by K&R Vape. This I saw this on Bill of Box Beer just today. I've got a group buy which went live yesterday, and this is a brand new tool. It's a brand new tool. It's in old Bill of Box days. We had a thing called a battler, and it was to basically be able to get into your burra tank without draining the tank itself. You could get in there, you could change your coil, or if you had a one of them, if you that was the kind of way you went, or you could either change your coil, or you change your build. You could adjust your cotton or whatever you want to do without draining your tank. You're familiar with this, John?
Yes.
Yes. So and this is kind of a new version. Just like I said, just landed. It's not even available. You can't even buy it yet. There's a group buy on Billabong.
I don't even get the whole thing. I hope you can explain. What's the screw for?
Okay, well, I'll give you a quick lowdown on the showdown.
Awesome.
So it's what we used to have in the olden days. It's a battler. It basically pushes your build all the way through the burra, pushes your coil system, whatever it is that you're using, through the burra without having to actually drain the tank. It keeps it kind of watertight. The bit at the top, so at one end you've got have we got pictures on screen, Rich?
Yep.
Beautiful. At one end you've got like a little keychain, you've got to put on your keychain, and then you've got is a little screwdriver sort of effort. I should just grab my billet box. And at the other side you've got a thing for
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's for pulling the 510 out of the bottom of a billet. Now I've just went to pull this drip tip off, and I've just pulled the entire thing off there. Look at that. Sorry, Gary, I've just brought one of your drip tips there. So it's a threaded area. It's like a big screwdriver. I mean, you can use a penny or a 5 or whatever, or a big screwdriver, but it's all built into one, which is really, really cool. It's all stainless steel. The original battler sort of thing that I'm familiar with, the Atmostate one, was plastic. It's all stainless steel. And it's available on a group buy on Billabong Beer right now, sort of thing. If you want to get in on that for the group buy, it's going to be £20. It's going to be available to buy just to the general public, I think, in the next few weeks, probably the end of July. K&R Vapor have got their own. I mean, I spoke to the lad today from K&R Vapor. They actually make a few bits and bobs. They've got an airflow jobby there. They've got a bridge. They've got what they call the damp trap thing. Not the damp traps. The
condensation plug.
Yeah. I think they've got something like that. They've got a few little bits and bobs. It's all Billabong related odds and sods, that I would say, on the website. And this is their latest offering. So stainless steel. It's for removing your build out of a burra. It's going to be £25 if you want to buy one in a few weeks' time from the website. But if you're on Billabong Beer, they've got a group buy, and there's a few options for the group buy. You can buy, like I say, you can buy the bridge. You can buy the damp watch my face. There's a few little bits and bobs you can buy in there. All different options for the group buy. It's £20. They're really, really handy if you've because you can't get the original Atmostate battlers anymore. I don't think they've made them for a few years. They're just a really, really handy tool. Like I say, you can get in there without. I mean, there is other alternatives. You can syringe your juice out or just dump it out or whatever. But it's a dead handy little tool to have. Or you can also have a full spare burra with you and kind of plug both ends up and kind of carry a spare burra and then just swap your build over. And so it's got a few different uses. It's just a cool little tool. It's only £20. It's made in stainless steel. It's made from stainless steel. The lads from this country.
I think it's sexy looking. It's not overcomplicated. I
really
liked it.
And you've got to have something to just take off the 510. Now it's all kind of built into one little thing. It's just a cool little tool. Yep, that's it. It's the North Pole multi-tool by K&R Vapor.
Excellent.
Bosh.
Really cool. Take us.
Oh, is that me again?
Do you want me to go back to me quickly and then back to you?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, it's only going to be really quick. I'm going to put a very, very quick post on the group. I'm going to leave it open, but I'm not don't give away what the question is. You get one guess as well. So you can win any kit from Just That Nick, any strength, any flavour that we've got in stock. I'm just going to call it Win a Kit. And I'm going to take a picture of my face right now. And all you've got to do...
Any excuse.
It's a bad picture, to be fair. All you've got to do is answer this very simple question. In the late 80s, when I was a kid, we used to go on holiday every single year from Bletchley in Buckinghamshire to Dawlish in Devon. I've got 4 brothers and sisters, and the parents. There were 7 of us in a car going from from Bletchley.
Are you going to ask how many wives went to St Ives?
Oh, it's better than that. Going from Bletchley to Dawlish, and all you've got to do is guess what the model of car was that we were in.
7 people.
7 people. The first person to get it right wins a kit, any flavour, any Nick strength. But you
What
were
year
only
was it?
allowed one guess. 89. One guess. And that's it. Don't do multiple guesses, and don't write what the question is in the thread, because otherwise somebody who didn't watch the show will just write some shit in there. So if you're watching the show right now, I've posted it. Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? There we go. Yep, it's live. Just says win a kit, and all you've got to do is answer what car did we used to go on holiday in the 80s.
Was it a Mazda?
7. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, what a Mazda.
It wasn't a Mazda.
Nah.
Little clue. Little clue there.
Little clue. Don't write Mazda. I don't know anyone who had a fucking Mazda in the 80s. Either. Oh yeah. Go back, James.
Okay, this is me. Okay. This is like this is a bit of dual news. Not dual. It's 2-parter. This is you might have seen this on the shed. If you're on the shed, Mike Dacus has recently had a stock in Steam Island. Steam Island have started stocking the abstract squonker, the dual parallel. There's the squonker 1 and the squonker 2. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. I think it's a very small difference. But yeah, they're now available in Steam Island. We show some pictures of them beautiful things on screen just about now.
Yeah.
Ish.
On screen now.
Are they there?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful. Sorry, my internet connection. I'm getting to things in my internet connection is dodgy. Okay, so this is abstract mods. This is Mike Dacus's dual parallel squonker. It's a dual 18650. It is a switch fate. It's got this version has got these abstract mods custom caps on the bottom of the battery tubes, which are really, really tasty. It comes with a matching tip. All the bits and pieces, I believe, are from Mod Maker, so the 510 and the Tubey bit and blah, blah, blah. They're all from Mod Maker. All made in the UK by Mike, and they're available from Steam Island right now at $349.99.
Absolutely awesome to see them out there. That's wicked. And Steam Island actually gave one to Mr. Mark Todd for a fig, for a prize, didn't he?
That is absolutely right. That's absolutely right, and that was really, really, really cool of them dudes. But so there's 25 of them. I think there's probably 25 made or whatever, and I don't know how many of them they're going to be on Steam Island. There's 4 or 5 on there at the minute. All the matching tips. However, when I was looking at these, I was like, oh, that's really, really cool. But then I saw we should have a couple of pictures at the end there, and this is like a new shape for Dacus.
He has done that before.
Oh, have you seen them before?
The flask ones.
He's done one in the past. Well, I've got a dual battery flask, but he has done a skunk like that before. One, I think, only one.
The one with where it's a bit curvy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a flask. But it's dual battery. It doesn't have the
Yeah, but the flask is.
I think he's well. I don't know. Mike's probably watching.
I think he's only done a couple.
Whoa! Let me just pull up my pics here. That's not flask shaped, though, is it?
Yeah.
Let me just have a little.
There it is.
No, that's flat. That's flat at the bottom with a curve.
You mean the triangle one?
No. The ones at the end. The ones at the end. We should have.
That's
his flask Squonker one.
It's sort of it's Dacus' take on the flask. You can't go that small, so you end up like that with a faceplate. They're actually.
Because that looks tiny. I thought the flask was much bigger than that.
Well, I've had one.
No, they're pretty big.
Yeah, it's wicked mod.
Really lovely.
They're gorgeous.
Is yours a DNA 60? It can't be.
Yeah, it is.
It can't be DNA 60.
It's the square DNA.
There is no square DNA.
There is. Not like that.
Square screen.
Square screen.
There is no square screen DNA.
I would run. No, it's not. That is absolutely James is totally
75C.
No, James has done it. I'm a fucking absolute twat. It's a die code.
Okay. So this is the DNA.
I'm so sorry, James.
60. That when I saw that, I didn't think that was the flask. I thought that was much smaller than the ones that you had, like John. I could be totally.
It's definitely it's smaller. The one that Mike kindly made me was like a sort of the early more of a prototype. So he's lost a lot. If you watch anything that Mike does, he loses so much volume. Even from this, he's the latest versions of this model are so much smaller.
Yeah,
he just. I really love watching what Mike does. He's one of those mod makers who makes his own. Almost makes his own trend really by moving, not just keep.
This is an original one, and he's taken about an inch off this.
Yeah, it's amazing
now.
Yeah, I had a little bit of bother with me. I unscrewed me 510 on mine, which is just here, and I managed to unscrew the 510. And I sent it back to him, and it came back, and it had like half a centimetre off the top as well. He was just like, "Oh yeah, we've made that smaller. We've all got them. We love them because they're brilliant. Mike's bro." So they're available to buy right now on Steam Island, and I love them.
Oh fuck me, Star Plat board.
Yours a star plat, is it? Right,
I'm
that makes
so
more
sorry.
sense. That's got a square screen. Because I wasn't going to argue about the dicorders, but yeah.
I'm so sorry. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Sorry, it's one of those. I've got too many fucking mods. Okay, sometimes I just.
What have you got? 4 now.
There's about 20 in the house.
When you sit in the house, that's weird that you sit in the house while you're in the house.
Well, I know, but they're not within arm's reach. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mods within reach. 2, 3, 4, 5. But they're not stars of the show.
Yeah, look at
13.
Look at Rich there. He receives more mods than I own on a daily basis. They just come through. They just every day is getting red carded. UPS. A lot of them, they're just queuing up. They're all of the major delivery firms are all outside his door every day.
Yeah.
It's a hard knock life. You've earned it. You've earned it, Richard. Really, really earned it. Okay, so that's the Dacus. They're available in Steam Island. There's got the new shaped, smaller, skinnier, sexy looking flask. I like the look of that. Hopefully that's going to come. I mean, on that screenshot there, when Dacus can be bothered to make them is when they'll get them in Steam Island. That's me news for this week. I'm done and dusted.
Yep, superb. And it's perfect timing because it's Travava time.
Excellent. Oh, I'm setting myself up.
Travava. That's the new jingle. 8 hours I spent making that.
That's a dick.
Right, so I'll just tell you what the first one looks like to me.
Yeah.
And we'll crack on from there. This week's Travava. This looks like a dirty billy box.
Okay, this is from my Fairchild.
James says that like, fuck you, John. I agree, it does. Looks like a billy box. I'm up for that.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Looks
looks like the
looks,
tank. Yeah.
looks like a barrel. That's Manny Fairchild. And that was that. Apparently, that's apart from a carburetor. We had 2 carburetors within the space of them.
One was all right. This one.
I like them both.
That's an excellent Travava. Well done, Andy.
Lovely. Next one.
Ooh, superficial hypocrite.
Okay. Oh yes, this is from RG Bargy. I probably knows.
Oh, MOSFET.
Yeah, Keith Mosfet. That's what it is. A reminder of when he sent in. Put on the show. Next one.
Ooh, this is some graffiti.
Oh, this is from Colin Durant. Colin Durant stroke Fizz. I think Fizz.
I will not stroke Fizz. I've already said this.
Fizz took. I don't know whether Fizz took the photo or whether he went, "Oh look, that looks like."
It's in the town where they live, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's where. Yeah. That's not far from where they both live.
Simon McMuffin.
And it looks like McDonald's. Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Sam McDonald's. And it does. It really does. Really does. Next one.
Habitat Satburn.
Oh yeah, this is from Delaware. Yeah, it's good. It's not a bad one. It's got Satburn in the title.
Satburn's quite a good little niche reference.
I don't think we've had a Satburn related try of the Tava in the past.
What are you going to do with 3 cups, 2 side plates, and 1 plate?
Oh, it's a hodgepodge.
Oh, it's because but the reason you want it, there's a really good reason for that. Somebody already owns that service and they've already broken.
Right, fair enough.
That's why you do it.
No, I think you get 2 teacups and a coffee cup there, and then a big serving plate.
No, it's 3 cups. It's 3 of the same cups with a teacup underneath.
No. That front cup is definitely smaller than the rest of them.
Yeah. One of the cups is smaller than the other 2.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It's a coffee cup.
Okay, now.
Yeah. See. Next one.
Next one is a little happy face.
Oh.
Really? The only thing that's to do with vaping is not what he mentioned, which is that there is a coil at the top.
Yeah, it's a doubler. That's what it is, John. It's a doubler. That's smiley face. Come on, we've all seen that. I mean, I haven't got an example to show you because that's not. I'm not on screen anyway because the try for top was on.
And the nature of that picture reminds me of a hand check.
So shit.
Who was that one? Sorry.
That was Daniel Williams.
Put your car back together, you nutter. This is a carpet.
It's Dave Catton. That's one of those bits of carpet that's outside the carpet shop where it just says $5.99 for 6 meters.
Yeah. Well, presumably it's a Mark White reference.
It is a Mark White reference, yeah.
We've got a picture of Ross off of Friends.
Even I struggled. I get what I think they were trying to. Was it me?
Is it your hair?
Yeah. It's you. That's Dave. Come on, it's your old mucker, Dave.
It is, but he's got the same fucking hair.
Yeah, it's your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Not bad. Oh, the hair. Yeah. The house with a clock in its walls.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's got the Orm sign on it. It's got the Orm sign. It's got the Orm sign.
Oh, okay.
That's from Derry. Hashtag not Irish Murphy.
Not Irish.
Which James has titled that picture.
Hashtag
Aspire.
Yeah, also from Dibbers. From Dibbers. Oh, from War, Gary Dibley.
That would remind you of vaping, wouldn't it?
Upside down Aspire. Yeah.
Absolutely. Apparently, you've been spending a fortune on kids' uniforms. For kids.
Shit, I was supposed to do that today.
Next one. This one made us laugh out loud. This caught us off guard.
That's very good. Co-op 8 wraps.
Yeah. I was like, "What's that?" Oh,
that's great. Good. Who's that?
I like it. That's from Ian Richardson.
Superb.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, a foreign license plate
in Belgium. This is Mrs. PC Coils.
It is. This is Mrs. PC Coils. This is you know what? I even googled how to pronounce Illis. Are we going to say Illis? Is that what we're saying?
I always go Illis is what I always think.
Van Leeuwen.
This is very, very, very funny and very nice. It's Illis.
Yeah, but good one. I really, really like it. So that's Mrs. PC Coils. It's got RTA in it.
I'm sure somebody will correct us in a minute with the pronunciation, but please put it phonetically so we've got a hope.
Yep, RTA. That's spot on. That is fair play.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I
one.
like the fact it was in Belgium, just driving home. She was in Belgium, driving home from work, and was like, Travis, I'm like,
This next one is a picture of an old-fashioned office desk.
from you, James.
Oh yeah. I'm watching this thing. With my brother on a Tuesday night. He comes around. We have a few beers on a Tuesday and watch a bit of telly on Netflix. And it's called Travelers, and it's about people who come back from the future and inhabit other people's bodies and then try and make the world right.
Is that on Netflix? Is it?
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have a look at that. That's right.
And it's all right. It's got Will and Grace in it. Not Will and Grace. It's got Will from Will and Grace in it, and a few other famous people in it. And it's all right. It's all right. We've been enjoying it. It's you know, John, about the time traveling thing.
I do love a time travel.
And me and Dave, it was the two of us who went through every single time traveling thing that we could possibly watch.
Did you watch that piece of crap I told you about the other week?
I didn't. It's on my list. It's on my list.
It's bad, but you've got to watch it.
I've got to watch it. So anyway, and it does that thing where it's like the Matrixy things where it kind of changes.
So what was the Triumph of Dark?
It looks like Triumph of Dark, doesn't it? On screen?
It looks a bit like, and I couldn't get it because it's like it's doing the Matrix thing where the letters are all changing over, and that was kind of the best one I'll get, where it looked like a bit like Triumph of Dark, it was blah 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 blah.
Next one,
yes,
E4,
please.
E4, brand new. It's a bald man.
James Hall. What?
James Hall, right? Okay. Oh, so this is, and I was like, what? But then when he said, I was like, oh, this is.
This better be good.
This is bald mooch without a cap.
That's
No,
bollocks. That's
that
bollocks.
didn't like me.
Oh, have a look. It's a little moochy. Squint a bit.
Move it. Keeps doing this thing where Richard looks around to the picture that's on the screen. It's quite funny, and I just caught him. I mean, waiting to catch you doing it.
Yeah.
Doing this weird,
I'm very subtle.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. It was good last week. We saw the screenshots.
It's a little pod system. Tricky. High polymer.
I like it. That works. That's a pod.
That's not bad, is it? It's not bad. That's the one from James Hall.
Shit, mate.
People in chat are going with the bald mooch.
I could see it. I saw it. I was like, oh, I see.
Ooh, this is sunny side up.
This is
egg with a dash of pepper.
This is the pepper, isn't it?
I've lost that one. I don't know where that one is.
They've even written on Moxon.
Oh yeah, this from Jason Cotman chat. Yeah, he saw that. He's so excited. He's like, oh, Moxon. Oh, I'll write that. Yeah, it's good.
Do you reckon the cap came off the pepper?
I think that's probably what happened. Oh, but then again, I've seen Moxon's breakfast. That sounds like it should be some sort of double entendre, doesn't it?
Have you now?
Yeah.
We're now looking at presumably a Nautilus tattoo.
It is a Nautilus, but what makes it funnier is that Liam is an Omi. He works in that tattooist, and he didn't notice. So he posted it on Facebook. I nicked it, tagged it on our group as a tripotable. Go
on. I mean, I thought it was a prawn, but okay, next one.
It's
come on, this is good.
Jeremy Hunt.
That is good.
It's not bad. It's not bad, John.
Thing.
Look, compared to last week when I was just getting mocked, that looks. I mean, it's got a cunt in it, number one, and it looks like he's holding a mod. Cunt and a mod. I'm laughing.
It's not bad at all. Well done.
That's just a toilet flush handle that is stolen from a hospital that he's trying to sell. It's the last remaining remnants.
He's going to pawn it at cash converters and just pocket the money he's asked.
Sometimes you just have to be done. Not mad, not upset, just done.
And it's a Frank reference.
It is. Not bad at all. Thank you very much, Jill Smith, for sending that one in. Next one.
Aspire. HC, NS Pulse, it's a doubler.
Oh, it's Pulse. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a doubler. That's from Keith Burford.
Very nice. Oh, yeah, this does look like an RDA.
Yeah, from Keith Jones.
Is it some sort of drill bit?
It is. It's definitely some sort. He apparently it's broke. Too Too many talks. And then.
Keith is a mighty mechanic, and he just broke it.
Yeah, he broke it. Yeah.
I like that one. That was quite good.
Yeah.
Oh, toilet flush button.
Looks like a moss. What's it called? The Mytec. No.
Yeah.
The Mytec.
Yeah, it's really actuatory, isn't it?
There you go.
Nice.
I did call it a reach at the time, but I did know that I would fall on my sword and say, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. Next one, that was from Kristen Holmes. Thanks very much. Next one.
There's a guy. Game of Thrones is now available to watch on Now TV, but below that, electronic saxophone.
Yeah, but it's kind of like vapory in the top, and it could be a really, really.
I really want one now. $45, having that. Awesome.
You still got to be able to play the saxophone.
Don't ruin it.
All right, sorry. BVB, the weekly BVB picture.
Yeah.
Again from Len Burgess. Yeah, it does come up a bit. We accept them. We like them. Next one.
Oh, there's a picture of where Mark Todd is currently staying.
This is another one from Len. You know,
What the fuck is that?
I was hoping somebody could explain that to me.
I have no idea what that is.
I've got no fucking idea.
That's so reachy.
I bet it does look like where Mark Todd's staying.
It is. It might be, but
You know, the thing is, I looked at it and I went, that kind of does remind me of vaping. But I kind of think why that reminds us of vaping. I had a weird thing where I couldn't decide why it would remind us of vaping.
None of us know it's reachy.
it is reachy as fuck.
Yeah. But, I mean, Len, he's said
There we go. We've got Mark Holland coming up, which is as reachy as that. So
This just looks like a superhero with massive eyebrows.
it's meant to look like you, Richard.
Oh, really? Have I got massive eyebrows?
I think it's the facial features I think they've gone with.
Yeah, do that. What do you think?
Oh, I'm not sure. He's far more chiselled.
Looks like
Somebody said Mum's plug squonker. The picture of the house. Something to do with the plug squonker.
Yeah, that's what it is. Of course, it's the thing off Mum's. That's what it is. It's the skunk hole off Mum's. It looks like a Yankee
it's a
plug,
plug.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a plug. Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's
I knew
still a
it
bit
reminded
reachy.
us of vaping.
Still a bit reachy.
Mark Holland says sorry, Richard.
Let's move on to this. It looks like a coiling jig.
It does remind me of vaping. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it does. That's from Mark Ski Elliotski.
Well done, Mark. We're now looking at a Virgin TV recording
What was
screen.
this?
TV.
Okay. This is from Mick Blizzard.
Right.
No, I'm not.
Into this cloud bar.
I think the general gist is
Nick's in chat. That is
I
fucking.
mentioned cloud a few times. But clouds visit this cloud bar. We can actually look at the skies and spot a few clouds.
Should have known it would mix. It's got the racing on.
Yeah, but I will say he's recording. He is recording Country File.
You've got to record Country File if you're watching the racing, haven't you?
Exactly, record fuck up.
So that was that. Well, now we're just looking at some clouds.
Okay, this is from Paul Hodgkin.
Is that what it is?
No, this is Joustin.
Joust.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's tenuous, but it reminded him of vaping. Took a photo and sent it in.
I don't know what this is, but it's got a big button on it
It reminds me of vaping. I'll give him
and
that.
a voltage meter.
Yeah, and it looks like it's got a 510 as well. If you check up at the top there, check the top. I was dubious whether this might have been like a homemade jobby, like whether this might have been a homemade vapey box.
What is it?
But I don't think it is. It's from Paul Iverson.
What is it?
Iverson. I don't know what it is in real life. I don't even know how big it is. I mean, I presume that's about big mod size, but that could be like 6 foot tall.
It looks massive. It looks massive.
No idea.
Oh, next one. Oh, this has got a really old voltage meter.
I think that's what they give Trump.
And a green button.
I reckon that's what they tell him is the nuclear fire button. And he just carries that in his pocket.
No, they took the codes off him, didn't they?
No shit. He's a fucking maniac.
That was the first bill passed after he got it in.
Well, they went, nah, not it.
Take it away from President Order, yeah. Okay, so that was that one. Oh, we're now looking at something from Bosch.
Yeah, I'll give him that. That's a mod.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? That's from Paul Saunders. So the last one was from that was two there in a row from Paul Iverson.
Yep.
This is from Paul Saunders.
Oh, this was me. The tripod.
Did it remind you of vaping, Rich?
Yeah, the tripod RTA, but this is the tripod.
We don't know why it's called that.
It's the triathlon podcast.
You see, it did confuse me because I honestly thought one of them had one leg.
Yeah.
And I thought that'd be a good name for a pop.
It's just a couple of lasses talking about their conquests.
Yeah, I think one of them should have one leg. I'm just saying, if they want to get on that.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Could be arranged. Yeah, I don't listen to this podcast, but it genuinely travavard.
Beautiful.
Mouth to lung lorry.
Lovely. That's from Ross Patterson. You saw it. He snapped a pic. Look, and this is not a good. This is none of your Google search.
Yeah.
He actually snapped it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Genuine.
Them are local heroes.
This is a picture of 5 zebra crossings.
Okay, this is from Scotty Bogfoot, and if you zoom in,
Which we can't.
if you move your face closer to the screen, you should be able to see that lorry there says iOS on the side.
It doesn't. It says NOS.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh. No, it doesn't.
It does. It says NOS.
Oh,
No, because that N.
iOS, iOS.
Okay.
That's perfect.
It's a bit scrubbed.
Who was that?
So,
It's from War Scotty Bogfoot.
Perfect, that Scotty.
he done it fucking Paul Iveson's. It is a mod. You know the mod, that thing that looked like a mod. It is a fucking mod.
Is it?
Mod. Yeah.
Oh, you banned. Yeah. Iverson, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful, man. You used to be beautiful. You used to send in. Remember that one in the thing in space? Remember that? That was one of my all-time favourite tri-guitar bars. It was like a satellite in space. Look, just look like an RDA deck.
Oh, James, look. This really reminds me of vaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking mod.
Now we're looking at electronic regulated tube.
Yeah, I don't know what this is from. This is from Sean Toop.
That's probably a fucking mod.
This has a 510 as well.
It doesn't. It looks like it's not 510. You know what it is? If that's a mod, you know what it is.
I'm going to say that's not a mod, but it does look like a mod.
It looks very muddy. Sean, please.
Oh, we're looking at men's pants.
That was a good one. For a wish, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, what are these? What are these? What?
Oh, there's like ventilation holes in the crotch area to keep your genitals cool.
Ah.
That's what they're trying to show you there.
Well, if you just wear them long enough, they'll get holes in anyway.
Exactly.
Right. And I thought it was a vaping knob because there's loads of them. That does not remind me of vaping. That like.
Genuinely don't remember posing for that picture.
Yeah.
That's when we gave you those drugs. And that's when you woke up when we did the blue ones. Do you remember?
Yeah. Windy Wilson weather and roads reports.
Oh, Windy says Thursday forecast. Tops off, gingers in.
That's rubbish.
Oh dear. And we're all the way around. That's it. That's your lot. That's this week's.
That's one there. Thanks very much. That was this week's things that remind you of vaping, but that aren't really vaping at all. And we'll be back next week with more of them. The amuse you. Thanks very much.
So far I'm keeping the liquid, which is good.
It's got to be a Volvo, hasn't it?
Nah.
No?
We're finished.
We're not finished. So it's not a Jeep and it's not a Volvo?
No.
Oh, is it an Austin?
No.
It's not an Austin Montego?
No, we did have one of them later on, but not that one.
Toyota? Seat?
No. We did see it in the 80s.
Yeah, well, they did exist. It wasn't a Merc then.
Nah. 7 kids in a recession. No one's got a fucking Mercedes.
It was too early for a Zafira, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't a really old Beamer, was it?
We're gonna go.
Was it a really old Beamer?
No.
And it wasn't a Honda?
No. It wasn't a Cortina. Someone who said that. Land Rover. No, forget it. Right, we're going to go. We're going to see you next Thursday. This has been the Ideal Aim Show.
Was it a big car? Like,
no.
Was it a tall car like a Land Rover?
It was not a big car at all.
But it legally seated 7 people.
No.
It didn't legally seat 7 people.
Definitely not.
That's a massive red herring.
I didn't say it was.
That's a trick question.
People have put Mini in the fucking comments.
That was a trick question.
No.
Are you sure it wasn't a Montego?
Definitely wasn't a Montego. We had 2, but that was after that.
Right. So for everyone watching still, it's
Go
not
and
actually
delete the
a
comment.
it's
I
not
put something
actually a
else up.
7-seater
It doesn't
car.
legally seat 7 people.
It's not a 7-seater car. So stop
it's
guessing 7-seater cars.
Yeah, it wasn't. Never said 7 people.
So it's probably an Escort.
Just turn off.
Probably an Escort.
I really need to...
I thought maybe it was a Sierra.
Sierra.
No, we never had a Ford.
You never had a Ford. Fair enough. Neither did we. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week probably. Bye.
Probably. Bye.
Smash that like button.